wanted to sort of record this just for posterity's sake. It looks like there's apparently the ability to combine Google along with the current course content that's available on the Coursera platform. That's one that I've been using along with edX for at least the last going on about 4 years now. This is very exciting news actually for me. That's why I wanted to record it, just because my first reaction to it. Just the idea of being able to graduate from edX, being able to graduate from Coursera, that's something I've wanted to do from the very onset. It appears with the dual functionality of the university programs, along with the Google private enterprise platform put together, it appears that I will finally be able to do so. Very excited, actually, just at the ability to be able to graduate. It's something, I mean, I've been in school for like most of my adult life, all of my adult life, if not most of it. And so sort of saying that on a very more sentimental note, it was always something I always wanted to do, just when I was very younger, when I was going to school, graduating, getting my degree in politics, getting my degree in economics, at the advanced level, at the master's and above level, which is going to be possible, I believe, with these new programs coming out. It's a new functionality. I think that's superb. Something that I've wanted to do for a very long time, and I see myself actually in a very good position, having been, I'm 38. I've lived on my own for most of my adult life, since I was probably really when I went to college. Left for college. So it's about 18 then. But yeah. And just the ability to be able to finally not end my education, but certainly summit these high peaks like this. It's something I've certainly wanted to do for a very long time. It's something that was never out of my reach fully throughout all of my adult life. Okay, and so it's something that I anticipated would eventually happen. I've studied all sorts of subjects during that period. So I'm 38 now, 18 is when I first started, 20 years. I see myself as someone who just in general loves to learn. The news has always been sort of a bigger fascination for me than anything that may be happening on cartoons, channels involving cartoons, channels involving, not to say that fictional writing isn't something that I have partaken in the past. I have a number of classes that I've taken on creative writing, and English is a great passion of mine. English is something that I've always loved, something I've always wanted to do, something I've always wanted to pursue, legalistically speaking. And so that's perhaps why a degree in politics feels more appropriate than pursuing simply just English studies, though I've read deeply in the English language, and I've enjoyed the different titles that I've read and the experiences I've had with a number of English authors, and seeing those same books come to life on the big screen, on movies and television here in America, as well as overseas even. The Cyrano de Bergerac movie, of course, which is originally a French novel by Molière, Molière. And so that's very, very gratifying, actually, to know that those stories that I held so dear in my childhood are actually now coming into fruition, becoming a reality in this 21st century that we live in. And so I'm very grateful actually for the opportunities I've had to learn, for the ability to be able to learn, for the times that I've had people guide me in my life. My teachers, I have nothing but the highest of respect for all the professors that have taught me, all the teachers when I was younger, egging me on, really, educating me, but showing me that, that just because I'm naturally gifted, naturally talented, that doesn't mean that I don't still have things that I have to learn and that I can learn under their tutelage, as well as future teachers and professors' tutelage as I get older and progress throughout my learning experience. And so I have nothing but the highest of regard for a lot of teachers that I've had. A lot of them have passed away by now. To be honest with you, some of them were far older, some of them were much younger, some of them were only about 10 years older than me. And so they might be still in their mid-career even. But just names too numerous to count, too numerous to measure. The amount of gratitude that I have for them, that I have for everything that they've done for me. The experiences that I've had as a student, as a young person growing up in Florida, where I went to some of the best schools in the country. In Florida, graduated one of the best high schools in the nation here in Illinois, and so again, I have nothing but the highest respect for everyone. Who's sort of guided me, shown me sort of a clearer path, made that path a little bit easier, the route to this moment a little bit easier to get to, a little bit easier to be a part of, a little bit easier to enjoy and to be able to savor the time that I've had to just really improve upon myself as a man and as a person of integrity and of the courage to be able to learn, because I've learned that actually. Where I've been at is that throughout my life, throughout my journeys in life, is that not a lot of people have the courage necessarily to even begin to step on to, the sort of taking the first steps on the right path towards their educational goals and the journey that they want to be on. And I know these people want to be on the same level, or at least the same journey that I'm engaging on, heading towards the same goals and at the same measure. I was actually just talking to somebody just now who he just got done painting all day, okay, and even though he makes $15 an hour, he's got a little boy at home and he's got a wife and kids, and he's and it looks like she may have another on the way. I didn't really talk to him all that much about what he was really in a rush. He just got done work and he was just sending his wife. He just wanted them to get something to eat. Bring something home for him. And while he sort of takes a shower and sort of relaxes. And I was telling him, hey, don't work yourself to the bone. But what I was really thinking, because I saw his hands, and they had paint splattered all over him. But what I'm really thinking is, don't sit here and beat your head against the wall. I mean, the way I've seen other people do. Trying to, impress upon other people. All right, that you necessarily, are, belong, amongst, what I'm saying, really, what I was really trying to convey to him was that the path, all right, the things you do, they're not easy. I understand that. I don't have a family, all right, I've never been to prison. I don't have any kids. I've never been married. Okay? I think he's done all those things. Okay? But I still wanted him to know that, hey, this isn't the end all be all. There is more out there. And right now I'm watching Waukegan High School football actually going on. But this isn't the end all be all to what maybe you can see a little bit behind me, a little bit. But yeah, but this isn't everything. I mean, what he does, and again, he's a painter. He does painting for a living. He does little odd jobs here and there, trying to scrape by for his family. But I'm telling him, I'm trying to let him know, is that this isn't that's not necessarily. The idea of just getting along with other painters, it should be bigger than that. It shouldn't be totally about just scraping by, just getting by, just the day to day. And I understand he's in a tough situation. He's got a young son at home, and he wants to provide for him and his family. But still, so sort of trying to convey that to him. And again, he may not speak, the best English, but he's a little bit younger than me. But he works real hard. He works real hard. I see him every day. He works really hard providing for his family. And I'm trying to convey that to him, that hey, every day is gonna be a struggle. It may as well be something that you want to do. You know what I mean? Buddha said that. Buddha said to live is to struggle. Okay, and to survive, that's a fine meaning within. That's a definition within that struggle. Okay, that was the Buddha that said that. Okay, Siddhartha. All right, Herman Hesse. I recommend it. and so, but the idea though that you're not going to struggle in this world, that's a fallacy. That's a falsehood. All right. It's portrayed in media all the time that, hey, the struggle ended. They had the baby. The struggle ended. He defeated the bad guys. That's really only the beginning of another struggle. Keep in mind, Arnold Schwarzenegger, even though he saved, the world from nuclear explosion, he still has to make sure that his wife doesn't know that he's a spy. You know what I mean? The struggle goes on, right? And so even that was conveyed in the movie, but still, it's something that's just sort of disheartening, but at the same time inspiring. Actually, really inspiring story about sort of trying to take care of a young family at that age. What that means here in America, this day and age, with the amount of the income gap that's swelling in this country between people who do have and people who don't have, the different individual cost of living adjustments that people have to make on a day-to-day basis when they sit around their table at home, and they're sitting, they're at their kitchen table. They lay out all their bills. They put everything down. They want to know more. They want to find out what's going on. How do I stop myself from having to worry about this particular financial obligation, whatever it may be. That's happening throughout the entire country, throughout the entire world. I just read a report from the World Economic Forum, okay, and from the IMF, that says, the International Monetary Fund, and they're saying that the amount of stimulus which impacted GDP ratios, debt to GDP ratios in countries in this post-pandemic world has been largely eaten up by cost of living adjustments, which are based upon resource allocation inflationary pressures, which have swelled during the pandemic, particularly due to largely government stimulus is what I'm being told by the government, but also by resource management curses, something called Dutch curses, and we can get into that. But Dutch curses in certain resource-intensive economies and resource-rich economies that, and to make a long story short, the Dutch people in the 70s discovered oil. It was more of a curse than it was a blessing to them, due to the fact that they weren't able to provide for the cost of living that oil sector measured in its profits compared to the rest of the economy in the Dutch Netherlands, in Europe. And so that's something that's very pragmatic, and that I learned only at the International Monetary Fund's classes on the edX platform. And again, I don't know what's going to happen on the edX platform, but I'm very grateful, and there's no more light, and so I really got to go. But I wanted to sort of just fill you in about the mood and the feeling here that, hey, there is a prospect that I will be graduating very soon via the Coursera as well as edX platforms. And I got nothing but the eyes of gratitude for the people that led me along this road and down this journey and to this eventual outcome. And so I just wanted to get the mood at this point. And so